Headline, August 26, Las Cruces, New Mexico. The University of Massachusetts Minutemen meandered all the way from Amherst down to Las Cruces to take on the New Mexico State Aggies. Coach Don Brown's boys were ready and had revenge on their mind to avenge a 23-13 loss from the seasons past. Coach Jerry Kill's Aggies arrived at the stadium in style, sporting perfectly placed ponchos on all the players as they paraded into the playing surface. A back-and-forth battle ensued in the first half as each team struggled to find any concoction of consistent offense, with both teams heading to the half tangled in a 10-10 tie. In the third quarter, the Minutemen made a field goal to detach from the deadlock. The Aggies attempted to answer, but their field goal flew wide. The Minutemen maximized the momentum from the miss and marched down the field in 3 plays to take a 10-point lead, 20-10, early in the fourth quarter. New Mexico State's quarterback Diego Pavia pitched a pigskin 42 yards down the field, finding pay dirt to minimize the Minutemen's margin 20-17. The Minutemen marched down the manicured meadow of Memorial Stadium, slicing and dicing through the awestruck Aggie defense for a 10-play, 75-yard drive, stretching their supremacy back to 10 precious points. On the very next drive, Pavia's pass was plucked from midair, and UMass defensive back Isaiah Rutherford dashed down the sideline, all but squelching the Aggies' aspirations at victory. The two teams traded touchdowns, but the Merry Minutemen matched their minute win total from 2022 with a convincing and captivating win for the fighting flagship of Massachusetts. UMass 41, New Mexico State 30.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of, oh my God, my brain just did not process a date.
It's still April 4th, Jordan.
We're so fucked.
We're still in the
August 27th, 2023.
Yeah.
It's 9:05 p.m. Central Time. Y'all, we had a football weekend, and it was actually a pretty good football weekend for week 0. Not even for week 0, just good in general. I'm excited to talk about it. As always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I have Kamish, I have Pit Girl. Beth will join us later. And we have a editor that's going to help us out, listening in on the wings, Arthur. Pit Girl, how are you?
I'm good. It is so nice to have football back. And today was a very pleasant day in Central PA weather-wise. Spent quite a while sitting outside today, so I have no complaints.
I did enjoy the pictures you sent of us of obnoxiously Pit boyfriend on his Switch or his whatever it was.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck while you're just sitting there screaming at the TV.
Yes. Yep, that is us all fall.
Kamish, how are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm really excited to finally have some games, and it was a fun weekend. It was kind of a nice little, I'd say maybe like an appetizer, of what's
an
coming
amuse
up.
bouche.
I can't even say that. I'm not even going to try.
Amuse bouche.
Amuse bouche. I don't know. Whatever.
It is.
I can't even do it.
It is French for pleasing, or like excites the taste, excites the mouth.
So would you consider
excited my mouth?
Would you consider like an appetizer, like a bloomin' onion, excites your mouth? Is that what an amuse bouche?
No, an amuse bouche should be a single bite. It's
single
bite.
It's one piece of the bloomin' onion. This still
one
works.
piece, one petal of the bloomin' onion, with or without sauce. I mean, with the.
I'm gonna go get one of those. Do they still have the loaded bloomin', the one that's like 4,000 calories?
I don't think so. I think they took that off the menu. I think
like bacon and cheese on it.
Yeah, and if you fry it, whatever. We don't need to go further from there. But I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy to have football back. The weekend was great. We jokingly called it Week Sick-O. And I mean, I feel like just watching all the games and seeing all the accounts like tweeting again about college football was great. I mean, you had CFB Campus Tour finding an obstructed view in the USC's Coliseum.
That was a really bad seat.
That was horrible.
Like 5% of the field you could see.
You could see like the end zone and like the fancy rich people suites on the ground with like the tented suites in the back of the end zone. And then like you could only see like all of the numbers banners that they had retired in the end zone. You couldn't see anything.
It was the Pac-12 network of seats.
How appropriate. So I think it was just a blast to have the Twitter back and just going at it full force. I mean, I think we got excited at one point and we tweeted within 1 second of each other.
Yeah, we did.
Like twice. I don't even know what it was for. I forgot what it was already. But we both had the same thought within like 1 second of each other, and that's what happened on the committee account. We basically tweet freely because we all have access, and here we go. I can't remember. Was it? No, it wasn't the ball hitting the the referee's face, right? No,
it was something else.
It
Oh,
was something
that
else.
was.
No, that was great.
I can't
was
wait
awesome.
until we get rate limited next week.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Oh, just wait.
I was struggling this weekend too. I was like limping through it. I'm like, man, I am like, it is not working well. We got rate limited at one point. I couldn't see any notifications for about like 2 hours. So if you were tweeting at me in those 2 hours and you had a good funny reply, I couldn't like it or reply back to you. I couldn't do anything because thank you so much.
Let's talk about some big overarching thoughts of week 0 first. Well, first off, Kamish, I need to talk to you about this. Is your dad actually listening to this podcast now?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I know there was a segment at one time where I would read my dad's tweets and just
you're the Tulane.
The Tulane tweets. We would go back and forth, and on Saturday he texted me. He goes, I'm gonna read it now. So if my dad's listening to this, hello, Dad. He just goes, when is Sickos podcast? How do I subscribe? And I'm like, oh God. I was like, we are normally 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're trying to go a little bit faster on Mondays. He's like, okay, I'll check it out. And then today at 10:54 a.m. Central Time, he says, I listened, and I think I checked to follow. I was like, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. He was like, naturally, LOL. So, and he says, and then he says, downloaded, I think. So I don't know if he's following us or not, or if he listens to this, which, hello, Dad. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Kamish's dad.
Hi, Kamish's dad.
What's the rank above Kamish? Is he like, is it Commandant Dad, or I have no idea. What we gotta call him?
There's Beth.
Hi,
Hey,
Beth.
Beth. What a snazzy polo you're wearing. Is that a polo?
I wish it was. We're full on button down today.
Oh, no.
Are those epaulets too?
Yes, they are.
Is that a men's button down?
Is it? I mean, is there any other?
Oh, enjoy your boxiness.
Thank you.
How was your weekend, Beth?
Busy, but I got to ferry a cat across the state yesterday, so that was fun. That's my excuse for not watching enough football. Sorry, everyone.
That chunky cat was amazing. Thank you for the pictures.
Oh, happily. He's pretty incredible, and it's very funny to me how different cats are when you get them out of a shelter. When the shelter people tell you that, like, this cat's going to be a pain and you shouldn't adopt them, let this cat be a lesson to you all, because this cat is amazing.
So how do we feel about the new clock rules, people? This was our first weekend of college football with clock rules. Basically, we are getting a running clock on first downs, except for within 2 minutes of the half.
Of each half, yeah.
At dadgumboxscores on Twitter did a little bit of math. And again, this included a Navy game, which was always going to run short. And that Navy game flew in the second half. We'll talk about that later on.
Oh, yeah.
Basically finding that about 5 plays per game difference in terms of like fewer plays per game, but the duration basically being the same.
I mean, nothing mattered. It didn't do anything.
But it could.
I don't know. Dana over at UTEP might argue that. We'll get to that in a moment. He almost fucked the clock up.
Also,
imagine that, a college football coach fucking the clock up.
Oh yeah, we're back to. I thank you, by the way, Arch, friend of the program, Arch, who reminded me that Clock Commander was a thing we do on the show. It's been funny. A long time since the season, guys.
It's funny, and like people, whenever I just did the intro to the podcast, it's like, oh, I can't wait for this old timey intro that you have of the games again. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that.
Oh shit, I gotta do this. Yeah.
We have so many bits that we've forgotten to commit to them all.
I have to go back and listen to the old episodes to remember our bits. Fuck.
We have bits. We have things. We have, I have no idea. I was like, oh God, I got to do this.
Regarding the new clock rules, though, if I wanted to watch the NFL, I would be watching the NFL. If we wanted to make the game shorter, what if we did less of this media timeout bullshit, where we made the media timeouts shorter instead of taking plays out of the game? And also, seems like we're just making up that timeout with like bullshit non-review reviews instead.
Yeah.
So
they're actually going to review this, and I'm like, what do they need to review? It's clear on the field, and then it just seems like an excuse for a commercial break.
And like doing and reviewing things and then making clearly incorrect decisions. See also the illegal forward pass in one of the late games. I don't even remember which one right now.
If you're gonna say we need fewer plays because it will save wear and tear on the players, I get that. Okay, that is an
Sure.
argument to be made that I can roll with. But like all things the NCAA does, it does not seem to be about player safety or anything like that. It is just about cramming more shit into that 3.5 hours, more commercials.
Which, if you're going to do that, like, if we're going to go full NFL, then go full NFL and do, like, the screen cut-in thing where suddenly we have to watch it in a weird tiny box because your ad is running around the borders like it's Internet 1.0.
We need
Like,
more pop-ups. Remember pop-up ads? Remember that was the thing?
Absolutely. I want to feel like I'm watching every football game on a GeoCities site.
Why can't we do that? Like they do that for racing. You know,
Yeah.
they'll show a commercial on like the side or whatever. Like, why you gotta cut away? Show the commercial on the side in a bigger screen and keep the one in the small screen. Why we gotta have full screen commercials? I mean, do your commercial thing, whatever. Do your commercial thing that you gotta do, but let's see the review. I want to see the review and see if it's legit, because I don't think it's legit at this point.
I was also told other things about week 0. I
Oh.
was told that College Game Day's intro is temporary.
Yes.
That their new one is just something that they're gonna fix because it sucks. And
you missed their hot take out there. It's like,
I
what in
fucking
the fresh hell is this? And
I fucking hated it.
I still haven't listened to it. I haven't even bothered.
I couldn't tell you the last time
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
I watched anything more than the last 45 minutes of Game Day. I truly could not tell you that. I don't remember the last time I saw the intro. If I am at home, I am waking up at 11 o'clock on Saturday, watching the last half an hour of Game Day, and then plonking myself on my couch for the noon games.
Hey, Kamish, waking up at 11 o'clock, right? That's what we do?
Sure, yeah. With the kids.
Fuck yeah.
Right at
I was gonna say
I wasn't
the best,
watching.
The
I
best
wasn't
part
watching
about
Game Day.
the best part about early Game Day is that it's the perfect background for making waffles. Like that's what it's for. It exists so that like my hungover ass can make waffles and get ready for game.
I'm lucky if I get to watch the entirety of Game Day. This one I didn't get to watch. I was vetoed by the 6-month-old and the 6-year-old, and I was watching Dora the Explorer before the games came on, and I couldn't not watch College Game Day. So Game Day. If you need a new song, I fully endorse "I'm the Map." All right, let's go, because instead of coming to your city, now you can say "I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map," and then you show different cities in different. You got it there.
I'm gonna make
done.
This.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. And then you show Columbus, then you show, Pittsburgh, you show Baton Rouge. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. Done.
But
Perfect.
do it with like club beats. So
Yes.
underneath I'm the map, you're hearing like boots and cats, boots and cats.
No, I love it.
Jordan, I'm gonna need the "I'm the Map" audio over the old Big Ten ad that we all liked.
Oh yeah, done. Done. Yep, I gotcha.
Let's
Sold.
go. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map.
And then we drop the beat.
That's right. Darude, what are you doing? Throw Sandstorm underneath it. Why not?
Yep.
I so thought it was Darude for so long.
I just say Darude.
No, Darude's correct.
I've never even bothered trying to say whatever.
Have you ever seen the version of Sandstorm playing on Boomwhackers?
No, but I'm
Yes.
into this.
It's great. I'll send it to you. Kamish, I believe you do have a little bit of pre-game discussion to do, because we have been called something that has been, I think, totally uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of taken aback by some feedback we got from the podcast doing, our 5 SPF, the Sickos Spinning special conference previews. And, after one of the episodes, some folks were upset at us after doing that. And, I just wanted to say that we're sorry about our preview, but we really have no idea how you got the idea that we're professional. I mean, we're totally not professional here. All right. This is not our job. And we frankly really don't know what the we're doing. So we apologize for giving the impression that we were professionals. We will try to make sure this won't happen again. Okay.
Great. I'm glad that we've cleared that up.
Thank you. I mean, I just got to make sure, because man, that was really bugging me. I just Don't like that word.
I do want to talk a little about some off-field things because we found out last week that Jim Harbaugh is voluntarily, by voluntarily, I mean Michigan's probably making him give up 3 games, the 3 non-conference games. If you get to pick your dad as assistant head coach, I feel like that doesn't count.
And his
And
son.
your son,
Yes.
but only half a game. He's only head coach for the first half of the UNLV game.
But like his dad is the assistant coach.
And then Ben Herbert is the associate head coach. We are.
I mean,
Also,
If you're
like, what the fuck is up with these graphics? They look like we made them.
they beveled really well too. I'll say that. People were saying this was like an intro to like a ladders and chair match, WWE.
Hmm?
I put one that had like bricks in the background behind it. It looks so good.
I
So-
have no problem with them doing this, none whatsoever, provided that you are willing to stream the Harbaugh Thanksgiving afterward.
Well, you already know that.
Oh.
Like you already know it's a mess.
Oh yeah.
How competitive can you be about turkey carving? I don't fucking know, but I guarantee you they have like 6 turkeys, and they are absolutely just going to town with them on like electric knives.
But also, like, once they've killed a couple bottles of Bordeaux, after the turkey's gone, and they all just start talking shit about bad decisions that they're definitely gonna make during these games.
Oh yeah.
I can't fucking believe you kicked that field goal from the 3. Why did you do that?
How much eggnog do you think the Harbaugh family goes through at a holiday event?
Ooh. There.
Are they
man.
noggin it?
What do we think they put in the eggnog is the real question here.
Ooh, that's a good
Butter.
Let's say more milk. More milk.
one. More milk. Is there
Heavy
like a milk liqueur?
Heavy cream.
Bulletproof eggnog.
Ostrich eggnog.
Jesus Christ.
At some point, we get closer to Christmas. I'm gonna tell the story of the first time I ever made the Alton Brown eggnog. It's so boozy. It's like 1-to-1 cream to booze.
Oh, jeez.
It's shelf stable.
Okay. I'm listening.
Because there's so much booze in it.
Well, I mean, as the Midwest has taught us, cream is booze.
I'm imagining Jim Harbaugh in an ugly Christmas sweater with one of these little fancy glass saucers of eggnog, crystal, and it has a tiny handle, and he has to like hold it like this, and he's just sipping eggnog. I'm just, that picture is very pleasing to my mind right now. Just imagining him around the Christmas tree with just sipping on eggnog. I don't know. It feels welcoming. I don't know.
Like out of like a mug that says something like, world's Michiganiest dad.
Do you think they drink fermented milk? Maybe that's their drink, like fermented gack milk.
Are you implying that the Harbaughs are Mongolian?
Yeah, are
Yeah.
they people of the steppe?
That's what I was thinking. You can't tell me. Okay, we need to convince Jim Harbaugh that like he needs to go for all of his best analogies and metaphors. He needs to go spend time on the steppe with horse archers.
Mm.
Like that is his war dad like brain.
So like sliding under the neck of the horse, holding on by his pleated khakis to get the perfect shot.
Yep, bare chest, but still pleated khakis in the middle of the steppe. Yes, absolutely.
Jim Harbaugh, one of the 16 million descendants of Genghis Khan.
Aren't we all?
Mhm.
Could be.
Jim Harbaugh actually finds Genghis Khan's tomb.
Jim Harbaugh just like hunting with golden eagles on his horse.
He's gonna come back like Falcon Master, like he and his Falcon.
I named him Bo.
I was
After
trying
that,
to go for a
Bo.
different name, but yes, it'd be Bo. Bo, my hunting Falcon. Bo, get the ball, and Bo just like fucking dive bombs his kicker.
It
I don't
would
have
be
swivel
very
kid.
funny until Auburn sued.
We also have some beautiful things. It's week 0, and they're already picking unanimous shit. Like the College Game Day folks picked New Mexico State to win across the board. That didn't happen.
No.
They picked Alabama to win the SEC championship across the board. And the spicier one, they picked Texas to win the Big 12 across the board. Why would
UCF,
you do
congratulations on your Big 12 championship.
Well, anyone. Kansas State, fucking TCU, fucking not gonna be Oklahoma this year, but it could be anyone else. And like he even looked to the camera, like Kirk looked to the camera and basically said, "This is what gets us in trouble."
Oh no, they're becoming self-aware.
I mean,
Are they though? I don't think they have enough object permanence for that.
they do have what's his face on there now. I refuse to learn his name. McAfee. That was his name.
Oh,
Oh,
Beth, this is your doing.
I mean, I didn't cause it necessarily.
You sure about that?
I don't think so. If I get in fights with towel dispensers or cheats, do I get to go on game day? That's my question.
Probably. That makes you just as qualified as anyone else up there now that they've started getting rid of people who are actually qualified.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about this stupid sport. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some actual fucking football.
Woo!
Yeah.
It is
You got to beat
like
that.
1:30 p.m. It is feeling good. You know, we're like later in the day than usual for the 11 a.m. kickoffs. It's fine because the first game is in Ireland. And we sit down to watch Notre Dame with some really nice, like, Celtic trim on the jerseys, and Navy with some very nice Celtic trim on the jerseys. Everyone's in gold helmets, confusing my wife. And we watched Notre Dame just absolutely disrespect America overseas.
Yeah.
It was bad. This was Navy under new management, and as strong as Navy's coach's beard is right now, I'm going to keep calling him Martin Freeman. Got to stop doing that. Marcus Freeman, his beard was stronger. Navy tried to pass, and I was watching this like with Pit Girl over various social media, and Pit Girl's responses were always, "Navy, what are you doing? It's 4th down and you're passing. Why are you doing this?"
Yeah, things were not good.
It worked for Navy. They got 2 wide receivers open.
Mhm.
The only problem is that they collided with each other
How do you
trying
do
to catch
that?
the ball.
How do you double cover yourself?
You broke up your own pass. It's okay, Navy.
Yards per play from scrimmage, 7.5 yards per play.
Oof.
I can't tell if Sam Hartman is going to be really good, but he looked great against Navy. This is week 0 problems. Most online Notre Dame fans have at least been very reasonable about this, and that they're going, we looked good against Navy. We're supposed to.
Especially
And
this iteration of Navy.
Yeah, this Navy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is not a decade ago Navy.
No.
This is now Navy who has big problems. I'm of the opinion that football is more fun when Navy is good.
Yep.
So I'm always sad when we get, like I was sad when Army was awful for a long time, and like I hope that Navy is able to turn it around, but this was not a good look.
Was Sam Hartman powered by the rib necklace? Did you? He was wearing it.
I did not see this.
He was wearing it
yes,
in
there
3
were
games.
some great glamour shots of it on the Notre Dame State Media, aka NBC.
Also on
looks-
our Instagram.
It looked like an old like puka shell necklace. Because he has it on like he has something on the other sides of it, but in the center is that goddamn rib. And
I love that if I search rib neck, the first thing that comes up is Notre Dame.
there you go. And the best part is that Notre Dame's a Catholic institution. Divine relics are their thing.
Mhm.
I mean,
If Notre Dame wins a national title on this is going up to like the piece of the True Cross. It's in some basilica in Portugal.
Oh my god, this football team's an ossuary. This is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yep. This is going to be,
And
he's
it's
going
a-
to be beatified after this season if this wins.
Like, yeah, behold my first class relic. This is great.
It's going to be in someone's little like glass case.
I would also like to take this moment to appreciate Sam Hartman for being ostensibly good at football, but not necessarily very good at other things, including at the end of the game when he held up a shillelagh that someone had given him, not the rivalry shillelagh, just a normal one, and was like,
Yeah.
I think the King of Dublin gave me this. So
Close enough.
Nailed it.
congratulations to our friend Sam Hartman, UDP voter.
Bringing back the Irish monarchy.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, sure, that one went over well with him or for him in Ireland.
I didn't
On,
hear anything.
on behalf of all Irish Americans, we're glad to be back.
There was no free beer. There was no.
There was a beer
shenanigans
snake.
like that.
yeah,
There was a beer cup snake. We did bring
Yes.
that fine American tradition over.
it's like a double-decker snake again. So, and that
It's
was
a really
probably
nice. I like that stadium a lot. It's a really nice stadium.
very
Now
nice.
it was moist, and they were sliding quite a bit early on.
I mean, it's
But-
Ireland. What do you expect?
Yeah. Like
But
it did what it said on
Yeah,
the
it's
tin.
true. Yeah, it was like 60 and raining when it started. Next up, we had Mercer in North Alabama and the Crampton Bowl. This thing was so delayed after was at half. Went into like a 3-hour weather delay or something crazy like that, to the point they had to move it to ESPNU.
Yeah,
I said North Alabama was going to be ass. I was wrong. I can't tell if that's because Mercer is overrated, but Mercer was ranked and they did not look good.
I don't know. It wasn't like, is Mercer overrated? Is North Alabama better? I mean, North Alabama has a new coach. their offense was pretty interesting because, I mean, really, as soon as like Notre Dame took like a big lead, everybody was like, "Come on, Mercer in North Alabama, start the game already."
That's right. It was like 2 hours in.
And we were like, "Oh God, come on, hurry!" And then like we get the little bit of the game, and then they get the weather delay, and so we were just sitting there just watching Navy just get hurt.
Mercer did win 17-7, by the way. I forgot to say
Yeah,
that.
so they were in the top 25. I don't know if they'll fall out. We'll see what the rest of the week shakes out coming up for week 1. There was only really one kind of good play of note. They had a good touchdown pass for Mercer. He just barely got 1 foot in. And I think North Alabama's only touchdown, just an amazing stiff arm that took out 2 players. And
I'm not gonna feed the audio in, but you guys can click on it and I'll post it with the link. The stiff arm is absolutely filthy. He absolutely just murders a guy, and it's wonderful.
And he takes him out and it pushes him into another guy and gets into the end zone, and that was their only score of the day.
Next game was a surprisingly fun one. This was the opening of Conference USA. This was Jacksonville State's first game in FBS, and Jacksonville State beats UTEP 17-14 at home, making Rich Rod basically on everyone's candidate list. The truth is coming, Beth. Send him home.
The once and future king.
This was a huge day for Michigan, by the way, because you had Brady Hoke winning, you had Rich Rod winning. This was a Michigan day.
I can't tell if I'm more angry that you're implying he's coming back to West Virginia, or that you're saying he's a Michigan man. Both of these are infuriating to me. I hate this so much.
Michigan
Do I really have to listen to this all season?
Probably.
Until he signs the contract from Morgantown.
Son of a bitch. And then I get to listen to it forever. Hooray.
UTEP got their asses run over.
Yeah, miners, no mining.
Just so we're clear, Jacksonville State had about 70 fewer yards, but they were all on the ground. They only passed for 67 yards. They ran for 215. UTEP got run over. Now, UTEP tried a few things that were interesting. My favorite thing is when they bring all of their fullbacks behind the line and and then passed on 4th or whatever it was.
So they did that in the New Mexico Bowl a couple of years ago.
They did.
And they hit it for like a touchdown pass against Fresno. And as soon as I saw that formation, I'm trying to find the old video of it, and I could not find the old video of it. But they did that against Fresno State, and they hit him for like a 40-some-odd yard TD. And I'm like, oh, they're going to try to do it again. Rich Rod was too smart for that. The defense stayed home, and it turned out to be like a horrible, horrible failure.
They ran it a few more times, and way better with it. We'll also talk about this a little later, but Dana Dimmel is going to be part of our clock commander of the week because there was some just... I really awful stuff towards the end of the game.
I don't know about those decisions there. There was one thing about Jacksonville State's field, which is all turf field, right? And they joined Conference USA last year, not before the year ended, not just like a week ago, right? Mm-hmm. Correct? Mm-hmm. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They had a cutout in the field that was like a brighter AstroTurf.
It's beautiful.
For Conference USA. Like it was just the rest of the field, normal field color, all of a sudden brighter green, super bright red, CUSA. I can see if it was like normal grass, you could have like, maybe some different type of grass, or maybe it's a little bit brighter than normal on one side, but it's turf. Like they just added it, maybe like, it looked like they just added it like right before the game. It's like, oh God, we got to put this out. I forgot.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. We're in FBS now.
I did not realize how under construction Jacksonville State shit is. It was just as like under construction as, well, not quite Vandy, but close.
I don't know that
there were lots
of quite Vandy levels of construction.
Well, I mean, San Jose State was, but they chose to do one side at a time. Vandy's like, no, fuck it. Both sides, same time.
Jacksonville State, Rich Rod, welcome to FBS. Congrats on your first Conference USA win. That's really impressive. And that kind of puts them, I hate to say this, in the driver's seat of Conference USA week 0, which is a fun thing to say.
The driver's seat of ineligibility of Conference USA.
If they win it and are ineligible for everything, that's the bit, right? Like that has to be.
Well, I mean, that's how Rich Rod bounces to another level somewhere else I won't mention.
Rich Rod at Northwestern.
I don't know that anyone deserves that.
Well, maybe. I mean, Skip Holt said yes. So
Rich Rod at UCLA. Just the faces I'm getting are so good here.
Rich Rod to Duke.
Because Elko gets a better job.
Elko
Because
gets a better job.
Elko gets
Yeah.
the West Virginia job. There we go.
That's fine. I'll take him. Fine.
Elko to West Virginia, Rich Rod to Duke.
Spicy take. Is West Virginia a better job?
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god. Oh
That's
my god.
so mean.
Oh my god. I need to be someplace else.
Woo!
Oh.
Woo!
This is
I'm
like
just
being in the
asking
car with two people who are fighting, and I don't like this. I don't. Whatever you're drinking, it's making you sassy.
You say that like
It
I
really
wasn't
is.
always sassy.
That's
For the
true.
record, it is an Irish old fashioned.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, in honor of.
In honor of the Ireland game, yes.
Is that just an old fashioned with parsley in it?
A little bit of Irish Spring shavings around the glass.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yes. Sorry.
And a garnish of a potato.
Potato
I mean,
fry.
I hope West Virginia is still a better job than Duke, but now I am worried and upset.
Can
They're both basketball schools anyway.
Can I interest you all in an Ohio versus San Diego State?
Always.
This
Sure.
one was fucking in first year for so long. It was 6-3 for what felt like hours. This is Brady Hoke just refusing to play offense or doing it so badly. San Diego wins 20-13 over Ohio. Whatever. Ohio is playing 2 time zones away. That happens.
They
And then
also
their
made an
quarterback-
admirable attempt to tie the game at the end.
Yeah.
They did.
Their quarterback got hurt again. So he just came back from injury and he got hurt again. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. They said that he wanted to come back in the game and they held him out as a precaution before they could, get him evaluated again. So hopefully Ohio's quarterback is okay. It's not another long-term injury. Hopefully not the knee injury again. The best play of this game was likely the attempt to throw it away and
Just threw it in his
and
face.
threw it right into the referee's face that we've been playing with on Twitter with different sound effects all day long.
Such a perfect.
I wonder if the ref would still throw intentional grounding. He's trying to throw it away. The ref got in the way and he was like intentional grounding. Didn't make it to the line of scrimmage.
The refs in play. The refs in play.
Yeah.
Play.
The ref,
I
the ref
mean,
is the field.
That would have been really mean if that happened, but luckily it didn't.
To show you how little Brady Hoke wanted to play offense, in this game, Ohio ran 84 plays from scrimmage. San Diego State ran 58.
Jeez, man.
Just does not want to play offense.
If I'm
I
reading correctly, Ohio ran 94 plays from scrimmage.
Oh,
See 84.
Or
no.
from okay, I can't read. Never mind.
84.
it's fine. Yeah,
84,
it just
84.
it's and also surprise, explosive plays, not that many.
I really want to see San Diego State play Iowa.
Jesus Christ.
I do. I want to see it. I don't know what would happen, but I want San Diego State versus Iowa to happen at some point.
Plate
I wanna-
tectonics ass football game.
Are there
That's
any
right.
Big Ten Mountain West bowl games?
I don't know.
Oh God, is that a thing? It feels like there are none of those.
I
The
don't think so.
Hawkeyes attempt to subduct the Bobcats.
Oh, like just glacial.
Oh,
I mean, if Iowa and San Diego State could ever match up in a game, please somehow make it happen for me. Please, I would love that a lot.
I mean, the only sound effect of that game, it would sound like a 48-year-old dad trying to drag a keg at the end of a long day. Just a
Ugh.
yeah.
In some FCS action, we had Fordham and Albany. You know what? I apologize, Great Danes. Fordham was not ready for it. Fordham
No.
got their shit run over.
No, the Great Danes were like in high gear immediately. Just took it to them. They were wearing their all black unis and they were ready to roll. I remember last year Albany had like 6 1-possession games, and
You were right, yep.
they were on the wrong side of the coin flip in those games. So I was wondering if they could possibly bounce back. And I mean, and then Ramley lost, quarterback, I think some coordinators and stuff, and then they had an amazing year last year, but the Great Danes were ready. They came out and they took it to Fordham. They took it to Ramley.
34-14 on that one. Another FCS absolute beatdown that I was not expecting. The MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff in Atlanta, Jackson State versus SC State. We didn't talk about it last week because it hadn't happened yet, but the SC State legend who's been there forever, Buddy Pogue, is no longer going to be there. He's retiring at the end of this year. And so this was supposed to be the kickoff of the farewell tour. This was a rematch of the Celebration Bowl 2 years ago.
Buddy
A bunch
Pugh.
of stuff. Buddy Pugh, my bad,
Yes.
sorry. And holy shit, Jackson State just absolutely leveled them. 37-7. That SC State touchdown was in the garbagey of garbage times you can imagine.
Yeah, what was that, like 22 seconds left in the game?
Something
Yeah.
like
I
that. It
think
was just
it was.
Jackson
They took
State
it-
had almost 500 yards
Yeah.
to SC State's
Yeah.
200.
Yeah, I saw the end of this one, and this is one of those. It was one of those touchdowns that you could tell the defensive coordinator was actually going to be happy because now he has something to yell at his defense for on Monday.
I was hoping that Coach Buddy would have a more auspicious start to his farewell tour. This was not it.
Yeah, I think Jackson State was fired up. They have their wide receiver legend, TC, coaching them. So, I mean, they have good infrastructure there, and they kind of built it up around Coach Prime. And, I mean, they're ready to go. And, I mean, they looked fantastic. It was just, this game was not close, and it was out of hand, like, immediately. So this one, I was hoping for maybe some fun in this one, but, oh, man, did Jackson State just take it to them. But, you know, the halftime show was great. We also got Puff Daddy outside in Atlanta sweating in a jacket, donating $1 million to Jackson State. He's giving them a big check, and he's going, take that.
If this game wasn't sold out, it was damn close because Georgia State Stadium was absolutely fucking rocking. And yes, the halftime was absolutely great.
Amazing.
I'm not going to say who I thought won because that will cause.
Don't do it. You're gonna do not decide between the band fights. We get enough divisiveness on your opinions about that weird game day song that I still haven't heard.
This might actually.
No, we're
this
gonna
down.
get in trouble on the podcast. You know.
I am so utterly glad we can teach people about how to get the Pac-12 network. I know it's our last year of this, but I love the fact that there were people who don't know that the Pac-12 network has a free international feed, and that you can, as long as you have a VPN, like NordVPN, sponsor of the podcast, you can just.
Hypothetically.
The best part is that there were about 500 people watching that international feed. I'm not sure who else was watching that game.
We need to push harder for everyone to watch from the same country. Because we need to screw up the Pac-12's advertising. Like, we need to have enough people that all of a sudden they're like, I wonder if it makes sense to have, like, a different language feed.
Well,
Specifically.
We're
Gotta have-
adding
gotta have
Moldova
Romanian
State
feed.
to the Pac-12. We're
Moldova
saving
State
the
to the
Pac-4 with Moldova State University.
Moldova. Is there a university in Moldova?
There
course
has
there
to
is.
be.
Of course
Well,
there is.
let's see if we can find out the mascot
Moldova.
University.
I have found a Georgia and a Georgia Tech. So
in Moldova. There is a Moldova State University. Love it.
Aha!
There is. Do they have a mascot? Oh, this shield is nuts.
It is. I love it.
I
Thank
like it.
Wikipedia for list of universities in Moldova.
Thank you so much.
It doesn't look like they have sports.
Ugh.
It's never too late to start.
They
hey,
started
no,
team.
we'll just grab the folks that are funding Sheriff in Sheriff Tiraspol and Transnistria. Everyone knows that they get along just great with Moldova.
Sounds perfect.
Hey, Balkan Twitter, come at us.
Why did you ask for that?
Oh no.
We're gonna have to go into
Oh.
hiding now.
I'm gonna list my favorite HBCU bands and my favorite Balkan countries and who should be part of what. Engagement, all engagement's good engagement. San Jose State looked okay. Number 6 USC let San Jose State get 28 points
Mm-hmm.
and 400 yards.
How about
There
that
were
Alex Grinch defense, my friends? How about it?
What is he getting paid to do?
Nothing.
What is he getting paid to do? Because
Nothing.
wasn't here, wasn't in Oklahoma.
He had one kind of good season at Washington State like 6 years ago, and here we are.
And one okay Ohio State season. Like Caleb Williams, he's a great player. He showed it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was supposed to happen happened.
Yeah.
But once again, we are seeing an absolutely ass USC defense. And you're like, well, maybe it's just the run defense. Nope. Exactly split 198 passing rushing yards they gave up.
So is it just that the Oklahoma got in the walls?
I don't know. Lincoln Riley knows he has to coach a defense, right? He knows the defense is part of his job as well, right?
No,
Do we have any evidence that he might know that?
no, I don't think he does. I don't think he realizes that.
You don't get to write this off like it's a fucking third house.
I mean, he did enjoy yelling at the refs again. That was fun. Live it on the sidelines, Lincoln Riley. This is what, again, is the Achilles heel of USC. One play that I really loved that kind of epitomized the team. I know it was early in the game or whatever, but it's 3rd and 22,
Was it that
And
far? Yeah.
It was 3rd and 22, and then they just basically man coverage everybody, right? Everybody man coverage, and the quarterback, breaks the pocket, which is a very easy escape route of the pocket, just runs 28 yards to pick us up with the first down because everybody's in man coverage. I'm not a defensive expert, but wouldn't you maybe mix in a zone every now and then? 3rd and 22, maybe a little zone, maybe not rush 5, maybe. It seemed like it was overly aggressive for no reason there. I don't know. I can't. Man, I just. It's going to be their Achilles heel all year, and will it affect them one game throughout the year, multiple
Utah.
games?
Utah.
Again.
Are you Gesundheit?
Thank you.
Bless you.
I mean, USC's defense is very much it's the house that is built out of wonderful things that you shouldn't build a house out of. It's like you have this gorgeous, beautiful gold lame that you got at Joann Fabric. And why did you choose to try to use that for structural support? It's not for that. You should use that for something else.
Hi, I'm USC. I built my house out of slinkies.
USC would be on Grand Design. Like, this battered shore has torn down buildings for the last 600 years that have been built here. Lincoln Riley is going to try to build a house here.
USC is the guy on Grand Design who tried to buy a missile silo. That's where we're at. Sure, you can live in this.
I watched the most depressing episode of Grand Design the other day. One that even was too sad for me. Because you watch the kids grow up and move out of the house, and the wife divorces, and it's just him and his little house then.
Yeah, USC's defense is trading spaces, but it's always a Hildy episode. That's what's going on.
I miss that.
Look, we turned it into a circus tent. Why did you do that? No one could use that. I can't find the doors.
I want to give a shout out to the San Jose State quarterback, Chevon Cordero. He's fun. He's so much fun. He's so much fun, and he's just so much fun to watch. He will be scrambling for his life, and just trying to make plays. He's so much fun to watch. I can't wait to watch him in Mountain West action. But he's a lot of fun. He was running all over the place.
You've already watched him in Mountain West action. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know. He's been there forever.
He came from Hawaii.
No, but he's been with San Jose State for a while too. So yeah.
No, but he started at Hawaii in 2018. He was 2019 Hawaii's starter.
He's 23, yes, and he's still quarterbacking, yes. So he's been there for a while.
You're 6, baby.
I just enjoy him and how he plays. It's just a lot of fun to watch.
Is Hawaii to San Diego State the most lateral San Jose State? Oh my God! See, you got me.
I did it too,
Oh, no.
so it's fine.
Is that like a lateral move of niceness? San Jose is nice.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Hawaii
is not Hawaii.
I feel Hawaii is nicer, but then I don't know if you're on Hawaii, you always kind of want to just get off the island after a while.
Yeah.
I need to go to the mainland. I don't know. I've never lived on an island long enough to.
Before we go on, let's do some plugging here. First off, we have our Sickos Committee Patreon/Discord. If you join our Patreon at the $5 a month level, you get access to our Discord. You can yell at us in real time. The live events hollering channel had been everyone was just so excited to be back and just screaming about literally everything at once. The best part is, 4 games on, someone just yells fumble. And I can't tell if my feed is slow. I can't tell what game they're watching. I can't tell. It's great. It is the most fire hose at my face stream of sports you can imagine. Someone was watching baseball in there too, I think.
Yeah, somebody's watching baseball. It's like, Mets are up 6-3 or whatever. It's just, I have no idea.
Go
and
Mets.
Then
Love the Mets.
The Mets, yes. Love the Mets. Yeah, but there's also the live events contemplating channel, which is, it's basically a little bit slow mode. So you're not going to get the fire hose of chats, and you can kind of keep up with what game people are watching. And then also there's the Sickos Committee channel where, you kind of see the behind the scenes workings of what we're doing while we're tweeting and watching the games. And then also you're there to hey, this just happened in this game. Or hey, did y'all see this? Or did you hear about this? Have you heard about this? What about this?
Did Hildy actually put dirt in the tent?
Yes.
I missed that show.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was like, okay. What is going on here? But yes, the grand design. We're back to that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's $5 a month. If you look at it this way, it is 16 cents a day. You know, that's nothing. And if $5 a month, it's just like, okay, one cup of coffee from Starbucks or Dunkin' or wherever you get it from. Just skipping that and then, giving that to the Sickos Committee and us here to help keep us going, help keep this moving along, and I mean, help us grow and get a little bit better things like, editing on a podcast, that we can get the podcast out a little bit sooner, or, maybe we can get some graphics going on our YouTube channel, things like that, just to help us grow and become, maybe a professional media entity at some point. No, we're not going to be professional. Never. No, I'm sorry. Never going to be professional. Sorry.
Help buy me a new polo shirt.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Every polo I'm ever going to get you, Beth, for the company retreat is going to be the boxiest 3X I can find.
Only the boxiest polos here at the Sickos Committee.
The boxiest, roughest polos. that great
the
quality.
The ones that are like glorified burlap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they only come in 3X, Beth. Congratulations.
Dry clean only.
Oh my God.
We also have our merch store, sickos-committee.sellfy.store. We had lots of purchases this weekend as people were getting into the gear of things. So join in. We have our stickers. We have our clothing. We have our winter weather gear coming out too. We have also accessories. Shout out to the Message Board Geniuses podcast as well. They go to the crazy places that we refuse to go. This first weekend brought out the crazy USC fans.
Yeah. Meltdown alert. I love those.
And also crazy like Ohio fans.
Honestly, I respect that so much.
Yeah,
right?
I'll give you that one.
Absolutely. Love your team.
Also want to shout out to the Bits of Broken Chair Trophy. They're having their Chair Itty Drive at brokenchairtrophy.com for pediatric cancer research. We also have our YouTube channel where we're uploading our podcasts. Go ahead and just click play there. We have our Sickos Substack where during the season we have our old-timey recaps.
Yes.
So if you like the old style of articles that we always pull up for best season of all time, things like that, we take our hand at writing our own. They're in there. And then, of course, but
we still have the potato chip ratio, which is still there. We still haven't revealed who's number one, unless you're already a Patreon or a Substack subscriber. If you're a subscriber to both, the Patreon or the Substack, you know what it is. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get the same post on the paywalled Substack, and then we're going to post all the commissions corners on the Substack. So you'll get all the content. We're not trying to drive two different platforms. We're trying to merge them together, but the only way we could link the Discord is through the Patreon. So if you join one, you're probably going to get benefits of all of them. So, and guess what? Detmer 2.0 coming soon.
I'd also like to say that as a committee, we're trying to become the Everything Sports Committee. I'd like to introduce our new branding. We are Why, as in, why are you listening to us?
Yes.
Under Why, we're going to have all our sports, and we're also going to be a financial institution and a casino.
We're going to be a casino. You can bet through us. We will sell cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Sitcoin.
Who made the 3D printed Bitcoins?
Oh, that was somebody in the Discord. I apologize that I cannot remember who it is. But another reason to join our Discord, we have people who commit to the bit so thoroughly that they 3D print Bitcoin.
I think that was, was it Andrew, Nebraska Andrew, the coin correspondent?
It might have been.
I think so. Hang on a sec.
I think so.
The Sickos Committee Bank combination discount bakery and biker bar.
And we will intentionally send merchandise that does not match your region to your local TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Guaranteed. That's what we do.
Hey, people, I've, in an attempt, again, this is because y'all who are listening to this, you're the ones on the bet. I'm intentionally retweeting everyone that sends us that to train people to send us more of those pictures. Send me your, I went to TJ Maxx and saw an Iowa shirt in not Wisconsin, in like Seattle.
Yeah, it's just like basically I went to TJ Maxx in Spokane and I saw an Arkansas State shirt there. So, I mean, something like that. If that pops up across, please tweet at us because we love it. If you go to Myrtle Beach and there's weird like SEC rocks or something like that, go ahead. You find a weird college football related product at the Sickos Committee, and we're gonna enjoy it. So just go right ahead and do that wherever you're at. If it's something that just does not fit college football region wise, and it's there, do it.
Shout out, by the way, and I'm sorry I didn't get a picture for you, Jordan, to the Tulane shirt in the Altoona TJ Maxx.
Nice.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Also-
Perfect market for Tulane.
Yeah.
Altoona. No, it's not gonna work.
Tulane.
Altoona.
Tulane. That's right.
Altoona Wave.
Altoona Wave. Perfect.
You don't want to know what we would do with all the French.
We would do so many bad things with the French.
Les is bon temps.
God.
That actually hurt me.
Shout out to Charleroi, PA, by the way.
Yep.
How do you spell that?
Like the French way, but you pronounce it the way that I said it.
Charleroi.
Yeah, but as one
we-
word, no hyphens, just Charleroi.
Charleroi.
Do remember, we're the people that brought you Du Bois and Du Bois Town.
Thank God. Oh, just making me angry now. Then we have one of our favorite sponsors, Home Field Apparel. As always, our code is yes, ha ha ha, yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. Their drop of Ole Miss stuff was absolutely great. And then this week, they have their boxes.
I'm so excited.
And they have boxes that include things like a fanny pack, which I learned the new kind to go over the shoulder. I saw this finally.
Yes.
A koozie. They have joggers. They have a shirt, stuff they've never released before for any of these schools.
Yeah. They got some good stuff coming up this week. They're going to do a little bit of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s champs for like FCS or G5 teams now. It's going to be coming up.
UMass championship shirt.
UMass. We talking about them here in just a second. But they have, I think tomorrow, the 28th, is going to be home field day, which this will be a day after, so hopefully you didn't miss it, but we'll tweet it. Then on Tuesday, they got Delaware and Montana State. On Wednesday, they got Southern Illinois and Georgia Southern. Thursday, they have UMass and North Carolina A&T. And then on Friday, they got App State in Montana. So they got some fun schools coming up with some crazy stuff. And then they had those crazy exclusive bundles that just came out today, which you'll probably see them on our timeline, or you can just go to Home Field or whatever, just check them out on the timeline. Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Indiana, go figure. I don't know. Home Field's connected to Indiana. That's very strange. Michigan, Nebraska, and Notre Dame. I had to say it that way. How would they say that in Pennsylvania? Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Yep. In one. Oh, you're going to that school over there, Notre Dame.
Can you say like the Fighting Irish part too?
Actually, it would be more like Natter Dammy, but
Notre Dame.
Can you do the mascot too?
Fighting Irish. How would you say that?
Fighting Irish.
Fighting we can handle.
Okay.
But Irish can turn into Arsh.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
Fighting Irish.
Fighting Irish. It's almost
I
a little
had-
bit like Goofy.
I had too much Taco Bell once, and I had a Fighting Irish.
I don't know how you managed to say it that way, but you sure did,
I
didn't
did.
you?
I had to bend it.
You had to bend it a little bit there. I was going for
Oh,
the Goofy
my.
pronunciation, but the Fighting Garsh. But either way,
Back to games.
no.
UMass. UMass, what did you do? UMass went to Las Cruces and just went off. They were in control of this game most of the time. It got a little dicey at some points, but at no point, I don't think I ever felt like UMass was not in the driver's seat. This was our game of the week, by the way, and absolutely paid off.
Is this what happens when you feed New Englanders spicy things?
Ooh,
I
this is
mean-
like
I don't
This is
think
what-
so.
I just watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit again, and when he drinks the bourbon,
Yeah.
like he like loses it. And this, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Don Brown was fired up. And
Mhm.
I feel like, him getting that desert air, that desert heat,
Oh, it dried him out.
it dried him out a little bit, and he was just cranky, and they were fired up. They played awesome. They played fantastic. And it's weird to say this, but like UMass had an identity.
Yes,
Like, you
that
could
was
tell-
the thing that was so surprising,
You could tell what they wanted to do.
Hmm.
And
and it sometimes happened. That's the thing. They you could tell what they wanted to do, and sometimes it actually worked out for them.
they could execute it. They could do this. And I'm not trying to bag on UMass, but like having an identity is one thing, but actually executing the identity and committing to what they want to do and doing what they want to do on the field, and then on top of that, it working is something that UMass fans have got to be thrilled about. I know it's just one game. Don't get too crazy or post a graphic about them making a bowl game with
Whatever.
a mascot or something like that on
I'm
the
there.
Twitter account. Or you're
I'm
already
sold.
there.
I'm in the
Are
bag.
you
I'm in
already?
the bag.
Are you already like? Have you already pulled up the schedule? It's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, we got 6. I
Do
found
it.
6.
Do it. Let's go. Do it right now. Pull it up.
Auburn's one of them. Fuck it.
Okay, that's right. God, I would.
Honestly,
Man,
sure, good.
do it.
Get that motherfucker fired. Do it.
Get his ass fired.
And then you guys can have Rich Rod.
Sure.
I mean, he just got to move like in state, so it's not too bad.
So they already have 1 win. Okay.
Okay,
Got
one win. Got to get
Yep.
5 more, and then hope to get a bowl bid because it's not guaranteed for independence.
So at Auburn, I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay.
Miami, Ohio at home.
Ooh, let's see how they
Eastern-
go again. Their Miami game.
Eastern in Ipsy.
Just like put a blanket over that whole conference.
New Mexico at home.
The Lobos.
Arkansas State at home.
Oh,
Toledo at home.
okay.
Penn State at Penn State.
Oh, definitely. That's a win.
That's a win.
I
Please.
mean, that's dude. If
Yeah.
UMass like does that in Happy Valley, oh my God! I don't think that'll happen. But like, if that happens, I mean, I think our Twitter account is just gonna have to shut down. Like, I don't.
If that happens, I'm gonna say forever that we loosened the jar for you.
How
All right.
about at West Point?
Army. Let's see. They're breaking in. Army's breaking in a new offense. They're trying to get away from the triple option, and they're going to decide to do that this week in Monroe, Louisiana, on the NFL Network.
Oh no!
Oh no.
On
oh,
the
no.
NFL
Oh
Network.
no,
Yes, that's right. So Army's breaking in a new offense
Army, you don't have to.
against Terry Bowden's boys in Monroe, baby. This week on the NFL Network. I just got to keep saying that. ULM Army NFL Network. It's just fun to say. Okay,
Then we
keep
have
going.
then we have Merrimack going to Amherst.
I would think they could do that.
Yeah.
Liberty at Liberty, and UConn at home. It may be down to the UConn game for bowl eligibility.
Oh my God. It could be. You know how crazy that would be if it turns out UConn and UMass are both on the edge of bowl eligibility and they have to play each other for that?
I might have to go. I might have to go to,
Oh, man.
to Amherst.
Again, whenever that is, I think, is that Thanksgiving week?
November 25th. Yes.
Okay.
Week after. Sorry, week after.
Man, I'm going to buy like a childcare nanny for the week to help the wife out with the 2 kids. And I'm sorry, baby. I got to go to Amherst. If that is the scenario, I got to go. I'm flying first class.
The heart wants what it wants.
I mean, I will bring you back some clam chowder and Dunkin' Donuts. Well, whatever.
If we're doing this and we're doing like the UTEP minecart, but for UMass this year, can I please formally request that we treat this like a debutante ball? This is UMass's society. Come out.
Ooh, yes. Curtsy
Please do
deeply.
this for me.
I have a mental image of us showing up, Beth, to this game in ball gowns and opera gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a top hat. I'm gonna have a cane.
We'll get
I
you a
will do
monocle.
this.
We're gonna look like fucking Dumb and Dumber walking in there.
I will make you all Sickos corsages. This will be wonderful.
Dumb.
Heck,
That's-
corsage
I
is so
mean,
long.
If that were ever to happen, oh my God.
So at this game,
Whew.
the last time UMass scored 41 was or more than 41, my bad, was in 2018 against Liberty, double overtime win, 62-59. In fact, that season in 2018, that was one of Mark Whipple's last years. They broke 40 a lot of times. Didn't always win, but they broke 40 a bunch. The other thing here, I need to shout out UMass QB Tayson Pumachan. I think I'm saying that right. He was absolutely fire. Former Georgia Tech quarterback, former Clemson quarterback, just had an absolute banger of a game. He threw for 192 and ran for almost 100. He did it all.
There was one that was a real backbreaker. It was 4th and 7. I think New Mexico State had a spy on him. They had everybody covered, but then he made the spy miss, and then he took it for like 27 or 26, down within the 5, and they wound up getting a touchdown after that. And that was I felt like that was the error out of New Mexico State's sales, but I don't know. New Mexico State kept fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Last quarter was crazy.
It was insane.
A lot of people had switched off at this point. You missed it because UMass scored 28 in the last quarter. New Mexico State scored 20. It was a 48-point fourth quarter.
Yes, they both basically. I think going into the fourth quarter. It was 13-10,
13-10.
So combined
ended
23
41-30.
points, and it ended 41-30, and just fireworks in the fourth quarter, which was nuts. I wanted to. I mean, Pavia, he seemed like he was forcing everything.
That's what Jerry Kill said.
Jerry Kill said that during the game in the interview, and after the game.
Since when do we fucking interview college coaches mid-game?
I mean, it was like in between quarters, right? It was like the NBA thing that they did.
Yeah, okay, so it was between the first and second quarter. That still doesn't happen. I guess this is some of that CBS. No, this is ESPN. Fuck it. I was like, oh, this is probably some CBS bullshit. No, this is
bullshit from the mothership.
By the way, I didn't mention it. Fox's graphics were fucking awful. It was the San Diego State Ohio game. Fucking 2004 extreme graphics.
Yeah.
Beth, I'm gonna find you an example of them because that is just awful.
I like the old score bug too, because when the score went up, it gave you like the little +7, like you're playing a video game. You just got a power up.
Kamish, why don't you tell them I'm doing this? Why don't you tell them about all the delays in
this was great because this is a Sickos game of the week, and there was some crazy delays that happened in the game. So at one point, the first down chains broke, and we had to have a delay until they could fix the first down chains. Then after that, there was a drone delay.
I'm sorry, what?
A drone delay. It's funny. You could just see the picture of the drone, and it's just like the desert around Las Cruces in the mountains area. It's just like zoomed in on the drone, and it's a picturesque scene, like, you know. And then the drones, they can't be operated from that far away, right? There's not like a crazy distance you can operate a drone from. So I'm just assuming that it's probably somebody tailgating in the parking lot next to the stadium, just flying their drone to just, you know, get pictures above that. But the NCAA is like, hey, you got to stop until the drone clears the stadium. And it was just fun. It was like, we're in a drone delay. And then, you know, the game continues, whatever. And then guess what? The first down chain breaks again. we have another chain delay.
What a wonderful opportunity to like capitalize on wizard fiction and to make this thing like the snitch, and the first mascot to take it down wins points for their team.
Okay, I would love this. No, found it because it had muscly ref. Beth, drop that in chat for you. Like that score bug was on screen the entire game.
Oh god!
Look at the little flag marker. It says like flag, but
that looks like caution tape.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Did they have this? This is very like early The Man Show on Comedy Central. Yuck! I hate this.
Yeah, one thing, you know, Bubba Prague, Tim Burke pointed out that the closed captioning covers the entire score bug. It didn't do it for the old one, but you know, there was really nothing wrong with the old one either. And then you just wanted to be overly foxy and just put crazy graphics where you don't really need to. It's not necessary. You have something that's fine. You don't need to just go to the extreme. That's our job. All right.
So do we need to start creating more graphics that just look like we put stickers all over a dorm room wall?
I mean, put our stickers all over your dorm room wall. But yeah, we could probably do that.
Yes, do that.
That was good.
That was good. Definitely put our stickers there, and we could do that. I mean, it seems like this
is not hard.
This is just like, let me put them at two different angles. Ohio.
We are not responsible for your security deposit if you cover your dorm room walls in our stickers.
That is right, yes.
No.
How about some SEC action? We had Vanderbilt in Hawaii.
Yeah, we
Vanderbilt's half-built stadium. The scoreboard, this game had been delayed by weather, which made the Hawaii game actually the Hawaii game. It was wonderful. Watching the Vandy scoreboard sway in the wind, hung by two cranes, I didn't realize it was like just there. That was fucking awful, horrifying.
You know, it was great because it's a hanging scoreboard and it's swaying in the wind by two cranes, and it just says inclement weather. And I'm like, oh, this is totally safe. Like OSHA Huskies all over that.
They were giving away souvenir hard hats.
Yes. Where is that picture? I swear I had that somewhere.
And also, Hawaii's locker room was a tent.
People said it was a very nice tent. So, I mean,
I don't doubt that it's been very nice. Like, I've been in nice porta potties too at weddings. They have nice ones. I've seen this before.
It was a nice tent.
It's still a fucking tent.
Someone else on Twitter said this, but I can't wait until Georgia has to come do this.
Though they have to have it Like
Do
in my
they?
mind, I was like, oh, they'll have it fixed in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think
Do
so.
they have to have it fixed by the time Georgia gets there?
That doesn't look fixable in 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, that looks like my nephew's sandbox. Go dig a hole in the construction zone.
The whole like weather thing made this very, very sickos to start with. They had, the SEC folks out there in driving rain because the game started like that. It dried up towards the end. I just want to say Hawaii looks so much better than they did last year already.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy wins this 35-28, but Hawaii kept it close the whole time. This wasn't a 40-point blowout like last year. This was way better.
I'm here for fun Hawaii. Please give us fun Hawaii.
And the dude in the Hawaii shirt that says, hey, Pac-12, still waiting on the invite. Take
All
'em.
of the Hawaii fans look so moist and sad.
Right, like
because Hawaii's just breezy and it's not humid and it's and then you stuck them in Vandy
you're
in the summer.
Nashville in August. Jesus.
Well, at least it was probably like rainy and cool, so that worked out.
Our next game was on CBS, which what was the other game on CBS?
Hold on, we ain't done talking about Vandy and.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Yeah, man, come on. Vandy was good, man. They got some speed. They got a little bit of that vaunted Vandy offense going.
They did.
They got a little bit. They got 35 points, and they were like, I think that's enough. And then, I turned it off and turned to the FIU and La Tech game because it was on CBS SN. And again, I'm trying to watch. I was like, okay. And then Vandy started coming back, and I was like, okay, I can't change it back now because I don't want to ruin what Hawaii was doing to try to come back against Vandy. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Hawaii fought hard. Like down 21, you kind of think that's it. But no, they came back. They put 14 up in the fourth quarter. They were driving with 2 minutes left to possibly try to tie the game. And then they threw a pick, and that basically sealed their fate. But Hawaii being that fun, like they got a QB that'll make some fun in the Mountain West. And that's what I'm excited because guess what? Hawaii's going to play Stanford on Friday night.
Yeah,
in
they are.
Hawaii.
Oh,
I am hyped. Hawaii's helmets also with the island chain on the helmet.
I
Those
love those
hit.
helmets.
those are
Just phenomenal. I mean, great. And then Vandy's got some speedy dudes. They got some speed. I mean, I'm not gonna say SEC speed, but technically they are in the SEC. But they got some speed on that. I mean, they're like Hawaii tied the game and then they just took the kickback for the touchdown. It was great.
Vandy velocity.
Ooh, I like that.
So now can I go on to FIU La Tech?
No.
This game, along with the Jacksonville
now.
State
Okay.
Conference USA games, were on CBS. So they had the ba 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 as they're cutting in over Jacksonville State fans, and in their version of Cocky, I don't know his name, but looks way more manic than Cocky does. Their Gamecock.
Oh yeah, he looks manic depressive. I'll just say that. Like he looks happy but sad at the same time. The Jacksonville State Gamecock mascot.
Like, is he cocky too?
Is he named Cocky?
Sorry, cocky as well.
Cocky also.
Oh, good. No, sorry guys. I'm down a rabbit hole. I have found pictures of old Cocky, and I will be here for the rest of the night. You guys can finish the podcast without me.
Hold on. Let me say one
You
more thing
lost
about
me.
the Hawaii Vandy game. Shout out to the dude in the stands, the Hawaii fan that had a giant shirt.
I already talked about that.
Yeah, we
I
talked about
fucking
him already.
that.
He's
You were
awesome.
doing things. I was talking about that.
I was
Okay.
doing things. Okay. I was talking about the Edmonton Elks ending their home losing streak. Shout out to the Edmonton Elks. It's
So that
over.
That is Cocky. His name is also Cocky.
He was wearing special spats that make his feet look like chicken feet.
I found an even older Cocky that you guys are gonna love.
Ah.
I'm like, this is gonna be my gift to you for tonight. Drop it in
Oh
chat.
no.
He's got human hands, and just there's so much wrong with that.
Oh, this is concerning.
How am I going to
Yep.
sleep tonight? Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
Mhm.
that's gonna haunt my dreams.
It's looking at you.
It's-
No matter where you
Yeah.
go, it's
It
still
has
looking
it
at
has
you.
Like I'm
angry
tilting my
eyebrows, too.
phone and it's still making direct eye contact with me. Don't like
Hey
that.
kids, you feeling cocky?
No, FIU looked so good for about 15 minutes. They went up 14-0 and then they just shut down. That sucks. I was so excited when they were up like 14-0.
I was like, what is going on? FIU up 14-0 after the first quarter. And then they kind of, that was it.
They
That was it,
almost
FIU.
won the game too. If you look at the ESPN line chart thing,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
watched the
like a
end
heart
of this
attack.
game and I was like, FIU, no, you're
I
so
mean,
close.
I watched this game and I was just like, is there any, because it was incredibly Sickos. I'm like, there is no way FIU hangs on to this lead. And they, through like all probability and reason, they were still winning this game throughout. I mean, basically for 59 minutes of the game, they're winning this game. And
Yeah.
they had one first down in the second half. And there was one really great play in the second half when the Ruston folks thought Louisiana Tech took the lead on a field goal, but the field goal was wide left. But then they flashed the lights to celebrate that the field goal was made, and but it was missed.
Oh.
So,
It
and
was
so,
also very clearly wide left too. Like,
yes,
I'm not
like, it
sure
was-
what happened.
it was just like, I don't know. Like, the person thought it was good because there wasn't a different angle, flashing the lights, and so they're consoling the kicker while the lights are flashing, like they're celebrating it being made. I put the tweet in there. You can check it out.
Pyrotechnics guy is in the bathroom, rushes back, and he's like, "Oh, it must have scored! Smash the button! Oh no!"
He's like, oh no. Also, by the way, La Tech, I don't think your field goal posts are level. They're clearly listing to the left here.
They're old conference mates with Marshall.
I mean, you know.
See, Beth, I got it for you.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
Yeah. absolutely. Just guys, buy a bubble level. They're cheap.
You can use your phone for that. You don't even
Yeah,
have to
your
have a
iPhone
bubble
will do
level
this.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have scrolled down to see this yet, but if you haven't, look away for a moment. Do we know how many passing yards FIU had in this game?
I do.
I saw the thing.
It is 4. Quattro.
Yeah, they were.
It's bad when a little kid can walk up to you and say, "Do you know how many passing yards? This many."
If you are the age of a child, if your passing yards also could represent the age of a child who could count to your passing yards, probably not great.
I have no idea what happened because at one point they were 4 for 11 or 4 for 12 for 6 yards. And then one drive in the fourth quarter, they completed a pass and lost -2 yards on the pass. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
It was a very failed screen. Yeah.
It was like, a drag route that he dragged -2 yards. They were 5 for 14 for 4 yards. It had me doubting that sack yardage counted against passing yards. And I was like, wait, does sack yards count against passing yards or does sack yards count against rushing total? Because I don't know for sure. And it had me, I'm like, no, they factor the sacks out of the passing yards. No, apparently not. So, FIU. I don't know what happened. I also have a clock commander nominee on this game here.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about the clock commander, but I got one out of this game, so I'll give you that one. When they throw up a graphic and you're leading, and it says the fewest pass yards in a win was 85 yards against North Texas in 2009, and you're still leading late in the game. They throw up that graphic, and tonight 4 pass yards. They didn't win, so their lowest pass yards of the win is still 85 now. La Tech pulled this one out, and really 450 total yards to 182 total yards. It probably shouldn't have been this close. My God.
Before we get off this game, I would also like to take a moment to appreciate FIU's Panther Eyes sleeve, where it's just the eyes. And because it's blue on white, it reminds me very much of Sad Husky. And that's the right energy for FIU.
I guess we can go to the clock commander side of things.
Go for it.
The clock commanders is something that we did last year. If you're new to listening to this podcast, there was a tweet where they were trying to rename mascot of South Carolina, Sir Spur. Is it Sir Big Spur? I don't know exactly.
It's Sir Big Spur, I believe.
Sir Big Spur. So there was a legal fight over the name of Sir Big Spur, and the Tampa Bay Times, I believe, came up with a poll of some names that the mascot should be. And the winner of that was Cock Commander. And, we decided to honor that one and create an award that we give out every week for Clock Commander. Basically, the coach who does not manage the clock well. And we give that out as a weekly prize. So if you ever have any Clock Commander nominees, when a coach doesn't use their timeouts correctly, fails to do a timeout, forgets to do something here or doesn't execute properly and does not manage the clock well, please send us an on Twitter. Post in the Discord, which a lot of folks were adding us in the Discord. And I'm glad we remembered this. But we have 2 main nominees for this award this week for week 0, the Clock Commander of the Week. I think we may need to come up with the graphic for Clock Commander of the Week. We got to do that. Number 1, we have UTEP's coach, Dana Dimmel.
Of the Dimsdale Dimmadome? Sorry.
Of the Dimsdale Dimmadomes, the UTEP head coach. UTEP's driving down to try to either tie the game or take the lead over Jacksonville State here. So they have 2 timeouts remaining, and this is what Dana Dimmel does. Let me get the drive summary here. It's great. Now, this is kind of this is clock commandery here. We don't want to talk too much about the play calls, but that does have a little bit of a factor here. 1 minute and 21 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts. They have just run the ball to Jacksonville State's 27. They take a timeout. So 2nd and 4 on Jacksonville State's 27. UTEP runs the ball, makes it 3rd and 1, and they take a timeout. 1 minute 21 remaining. 3rd and 1. UTEP is on Jacksonville State's 24-yard line.
Yeah.
So they have their kicker, freshman Buzz Flabiano.
Love it.
We gotta get Buzz up in here. I forgot to mention him earlier, so I apologize for Buzz Flabiano. He missed the kick earlier, and he's a freshman. So I'm like, okay, it's 3rd and 1. Do you want to run the ball to try to get this first down? You have 1 timeout remaining. UTEP decides to pass the ball. UTEP passes the ball, and they throw deep to the end zone. Incomplete. Clock stops.
Didn't have to throw the fade. Didn't have to throw the fade there. Needed like 1 yard.
Needed a yard on the 3rd down. Needed a yard. Whatever. Now it's 4th and 1. They have 1 timeout remaining. So they don't know what they're going to do at this point. They call another timeout. They use their final timeout before 4th and 1. Do you kick the field goal with Buzz Flabiano, the freshman? Do you run the ball up the middle? No, you decide to pass on 4th down, and it gets intercepted. So he had 2 timeouts there, trying to take the lead or tie the game. Plenty of time, like 1 minute 21 remaining. You got time to call a play. You're in a hurry up. You got something that's going. The next play could probably take 20 seconds. You're below a minute. You're 24 yards away. Plenty of time. You got 2 timeouts. But he used those 2 timeouts and then didn't seem to make the correct decisions here. So that's Dana Dimmel.
Would like to shout out the El Paso Times for their article. UTEP looks like same old UTEP after mistake-filled loss at Jacksonville State. Ooh.
Ouch. Was that our boy Colin? Or no?
No, Colin wouldn't do that. No,
okay.
This is Brett Blumquist from the El Paso Times.
Shout out to Colin Deaver of El Paso KVIA, I believe. And he gave us a shout out on the Sickos Game of the Week on local broadcast, which was amazing. Thank you so much for that. All right. My other nominee for Clock Commander of the Week, it's FIU's coach, Mike McIntyre. La Tech is driving, and they make it to FIU's 30-yard line with 1 minute 7 remaining. La Tech has no timeouts. So the clock is running.
Okay.
Their kicker has missed 2 field goals. He's doinked 1. He's missed another 1. So he's 1 for 3 on the game. And this would be essentially a 47-yard field goal. The clock is running. 1 minute 7 remaining. So he decides to call a defensive timeout. So he stops the clock with 1 minute 7 remaining. Defensive timeout. 2nd and 7 on FIU's 30. The very next play, 30-yard touchdown run. La Tech takes the lead, 22-17. So that defensive timeout gave the offense a chance to set up the perfect play, a run for a 30-yard touchdown, giving La Tech the lead, and essentially sealing the game there because, FIU only had 4 yards passing, and their 1 pass attempt on that drive was an interception. So on their drive to attempt to win here. So I'm leaving it up to you. Is Dana Dimmel's or is the random defensive timeout that allowed La Tech to not hurry up to set up a play with 1 minute 7 remaining? I don't know. Which one is more clock commandery?
Can we just give it to Conference USA?
You think the conference will hate us for that?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay.
Both of those are pretty. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to differentiate between those because they're both so bad.
I'm on board with giving it to CUSA.
This is the CUSA. Yeah, this is.
You good?
It's week 0. You got to shake the rust off.
So Conference USA has been nominated. Our Clock Commander Conference USA coaches of losing teams have been nominated for Clock Commanders of the Week. That does not include Jerry Kill. I don't think he did anything wrong that I am aware of.
Well, that was our first review episode back. Everyone feeling good? Does this feel normal again? Shaking it out?
A little
Shaking
rusty.
it out.
We're getting used to it. We're getting used to it because I just did the Sickos Game of the Week, and I went through all the Division I games to try to figure out who we could rank for the Sickos Game of the Week next week. There was 125 Division I games. 125. Then I had to narrow it down to FBS versus FBS because that's the only things that we rank. We'll do some, FBS versus FCS watch list things, but there's 45 FBS versus FBS games. We got a lot of craziness coming up this week and a lot of unpredictability. So week 0 got us ready. The Amuse Bouche, right? Bouche.
Amuse bouche.
Amuse bouche.
Amuse Bouche.
A moose
No.
booze? A moose boosh?
A moose booze.
A moose boots. No.
Amos Bush.
A moose bush. A moose boot.
Perfect.
No. Okay, whatever.
We will see you guys on the other side. Have a good week, and we'll talk about our preview of Saturday on our next episode.